And welcome to WTL Where's the Line, everybody. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Gibran.
The Parlay Pounder.
You know it.
Back in the house.
Yes, sir.
All right, now we got some highly ranked teams here for college football this Saturday.
Yep.
Let's start with an 11 o'clock kickoff on Fox. Big noon kickoff.
Yep.
That is Maryland traveling to number 4, Michigan, where they are a heavy favorite, minus 17.
Yeah.
Over-under sitting there at 64.5. Yeah, a lot of points. And they're saying Michigan's going to be scoring a lot of those points. Gibran, where are you at?
Yeah. This is a really good matchup, I feel like, Andy.
Oh, yeah.
Both these teams come in 3-0 this year.
Yeah.
It seems that Maryland can put the ball in the end zone as well. They got a Tagovailoa sitting behind center, and we saw what that his brother did in Miami this weekend. Yeah. But Talia Tagovailoa put up 214 yards last week, 2 TDs through the air. But freaking Michigan last week, 57 points.
That was insane.
Yeah. For, regarding being, putting points on the board, the Wolverines are sitting first in Division I football, averaging 55.5 points per contest. That's pretty crazy, Andy.
Yeah.
And in Maryland sitting there at putting 40 in per contest.
Yeah, Maryland's
which
great
is 54th
offensively.
in D1. So I am leaning a little bit. I know that this is probably one of the more inflated over-unders that we're going to see all weekend, but it's for a reason. It's because these teams can put it in the end zone. And I do think the Wolverines are going to score over 45 points. It's just, can Maryland put up their end.
Right.
And I really like this Terrapins team. I'm leaning towards them covering this weekend, Andy. I just think that Michigan's going to be kind of pushed for the first time this year. And I still think that Michigan will win, but I think it's going to be about a 10 to 14 point win with Maryland covering that 17 points.
You are definitely in the minority there.
For sure.
Because it looks like only 4% of the bets right now are flowing in on the Terrapins of Maryland to cover that 17-point spread. Also, that over-under you're talking about being 64.5, I think it's just going to keep rising too.
Yes, it will.
Because the majority of the bets are going in on the overs, hitting on that as well.
Sure.
So if you're an over guy, you like betting overs, and you like the Michigan Wolverines covering here, and you want to hit that, you want to smack that sooner than later to get a better number, because I think it's just going to continue to rise and rise.
For sure, Andy. I think that's going to probably be at 66, 67 by the time kickoff at 11 on Fox.
Yep. And kind of go along with what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Maryland's 4-1 ATS in the last 5 games.
Yes.
3 of which were this year, dipping back into last year a little bit.
Yep.
But that plays into what you're saying. Another thing that plays into, maybe what you're saying here, Michigan is 8-1 straight up in their last 9 games. So
they are. They're going to win.
Both things can be true here.
Yes.
Maryland can lose, but still
cover
their ATS.
Agreed.
And Michigan can win straight up. So maybe that's the way we're feeling about it.
That's the way I'm looking at it.
All right. Let's look at another 11 o'clock kickoff here on ABC. That is number 5 Clemson.
Yeah.
Going on over to play number 21 Wake Forest, over under of 56. Clemson is a 7-point favorite.
Yeah. Big ACC matchup. Both ranked in the top 25, Andy.
Yep.
We're going back and forth on taking these home teams and these dogs and all that kind of stuff. I just think Clemson is the better team here. They have been able to score a lot better this year. I still have a lot of worries about the Clemson receiver room a little bit, but they don't have the dominant guys that they had when they had Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson.
But I know. Who does? Those guys are generational talent.
They are. I could see in a world where this game is close and Wake Forest hangs around, especially at home with a veteran playmaking quarterback. This is basically the recipe that, it's kind of a trap game, Andy. It's kind of a trap game for Clemson, but I do think that I think they're going to be on there. Dabo's going to have them playing. I definitely think that they can cover this 7 points. So I'm going with the Tigers. I think 7 is a good number for them to cover by. I think they'll probably win by 10 to 14 points.
And just talking straight up, Clemson against Wake Forest.
Yeah.
They're 10-0 straight up against Wake Forest.
Right.
I mean, the last 10 games, they're 10-0. But the over-under, now this I found kind of fascinating. Clemson has gone under in 4 of the last 5 games.
For sure. That's what we're talking about. They're not the Clemson of old.
They don't have that high-powered offense.
They don't have the high-powered offense.
Great defense.
But this is not the team to upset them. Wake Forest is not going to do it. They nearly lost to Liberty a week ago and failed a 2-point conversion, which was the only thing that
saved them.
That kept the Demons Deacons in the top 25. So I really think Clemson might blow them out of the water, and I really like the 7 points right here because I think it's way undervalued right now.
All right, I'll agree with you on that one. Not happy about it.
Right,
but
I know.
But there's too many data points there, and when you don't bet with your heart, you bet with your head.
Exactly.
Right, and I mean this is all screaming Tigers, Tigers, Tigers.
For sure, Andy. And if you guys don't like the 7 points, the minus 260, there's not great value right there at the money line for Clemson, but it could be a good parlay piece for people.
Right.
If you're trying to put a couple together, that minus 260 might be burning a hole in my pocket.
I was going to say,
on Saturday.
Is that a teaser for something?
It's a little teaser.
All right, so let's head on over to CBS.
Yeah.
2:30 kickoff. A lot of hype about this one. Number 20, Florida, going down to Knoxville, Tennessee to play number 11, Tennessee, the Vols.
Wow.
Where they are a 10.5 point favorite over a team that they can never beat in the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
Over under, you want to talk about inflated, 62.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Oh my! As much as it pains me to say this, because I am kind of a Gators fan.
Yeah.
And College World Series, that's always been my team when I go down there and watch them in Omaha there. The Florida defense does not look great, and the Tennessee offense is explosive, Andy.
Kind of surprising how good they're doing.
It is. It really is. Gosh, I really do not see the Gators making a play in this game. I do not like this game, but I don't like the spread either, Andy, because I think this is right on the money. I really think this is going to be a 10-point victory by Tennessee, somewhere in that range, so I don't really know which way to hop on this. I really do like that over-under, like you're saying, at 62.5, of hitting that over, just because Florida can score as well, but that Tennessee offense is so explosive. I think they're going to probably put about 38 to 40 points up on the board, and I think Florida will be able to help them out to get to that over.
Yeah. I think you have something there. And to your, one of your points there that you were saying, Florida has won 7 of the last 8 meetings against Tennessee.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I think Tennessee is going to be up for this game.
They're foaming at the mouth to finally do this.
And what better time than early in the season? You're a double-digit favorite here.
Yeah.
And I think they can cover this.
Yeah.
I really do. I like what Tennessee has done thus far.
Alrighty.
You're talking about the motivation factor there. And here's something else to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Florida's injury report. I'm looking at linebackers, defensive backs, offensive linemen. Jack Miller, the third, the quarterback, he's out indefinitely with a thumb injury.
Yes, he is.
Tight end's also out with an upper body. He got elevated up to questionable.
Yep.
But that's still a lot of names on that injury report.
It is.
I just feel like everything is going the Tennessee's way. And, we talked about trap games and this and that. None of that.
Not on this. Not with a rivalry
Not
game.
here. No, sirree. And I just feel like Tennessee might finally have them outclassed.
I think they do.
Woo, look out, Florida Gators.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move on to the nightcap on ESPN between 2 ranked opponents in the SEC. Number 10, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Going on over to College Station to take on Texas A&M, who's currently ranked number 23. Yep. However, they are the favorite here.
They are.
At -1.5.
Yeah, I think this is one of these times it's where we're playing is where the
12th
line.
man.
Yep, the 12th man sitting there, Andy. I don't know. These are crazy games. Both in the top 25 here.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like that.
A&M should be favored here.
I do not think so. I think Arkansas is the better team, but I mean, hometown does something for you, obviously.
Well, and it's supposedly in one of the greatest home field advantages in all of college football.
Yeah.
They're in College Station with A&M, so that's why they're getting the points here. They're the favorite. Arkansas is getting the points. It's really tough for me though. To bet on home or away dogs.
Yeah, especially in
dogs.
top 25 games like this.
And Andy, this is early, so the rankings, they might mean a little bit more at the end of the season compared to now. So, like, do we really know what the difference is between number 10 and number 23?
No.
I mean, I know A&M has left a lot to be desired early on here. Okay. And, but I think that also shows how strong a lot of people think they really are.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Andy.
they wouldn't be the favorite over the number 10 team in the nation.
Exactly, Andy. And even when Arkansas was kind of lousy, in years past and everything, they have always gave A&M a hard time in this matchup.
Yeah.
At least since it's like 2012 when they had a blowout loss. It might have. I really think Arkansas is going to come in here and win this game, probably about by 3 points. I'm guessing 26-23. Them covering, obviously, and I really think the Razorbacks are going to take this one home.
What do you think of that over-under, 48.5?
That is obviously where it's going to be, Andy. I would most likely go over on this because Texas A&M isn't doing anything to control the clock. I think that it's just going to be pass happy, pass happy, pass happy, pass happy. So I really do like the over on this. I think the prediction that I said put it at 49, which is right there.
There you go.
Well,
here you go. So Arkansas is 4-1 ATS their last 5 games against A&M.
Yeah.
So that means they're going to cover that 1.5. That if you do that, that means you're probably going to win the game. All right.
Sir.
And they've also gone over, smacked the over in 4 of their last 6 games.
You got
Hog Suey. Double down, right?
Double down.
If you're gonna bet one, bet the other.
Bet the other, both of them.
Bet
Andy.
both of them. All right. And now, do you have a parlay play?
Yes, I do, Andy. First of all, we're gonna go with Clemson by 7 at a -115 bet. Then we're gonna throw Tennessee at a -340 bet. And then I got the Kansas Jayhawks that we will be talking about in the next segment. I'm putting $25 on all of these to win 100, Andy.
Now, that's that plus money you like.
There it is.
There it is. From the Parlay Pounder, folks.
Yes, sir.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more WTL. And welcome back to WTL, everybody. Where's the line? I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Gibran.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder.
Yes, sir.
Nebraska's only sports betting show.
You got that right.
And wouldn't you know, we have some more college football on this Saturday.
Yeah.
Starting with, let's get into it here, Big 12, big matchup.
Yeah.
Number 17, Baylor at Iowa State. Iowa State's the favorite, 2.5.
Yeah.
Over-under, 45.5.
Yep.
ESPN, 2.
Yes. With this kind of crazy, Andy, the spread came out on last Sunday as the Cyclones actually the underdogs by +1. So this is kind of flip-flopped on us, making the ranked team the underdogs here. And I don't really see this going the way for the Cyclones. They're
3-0.
They are 3-0, but there's a reason that Baylor's ranked, and there's a reason that Iowa State isn't.
Hey, Iowa State's 2-1 ATS as well. You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
Against the spread.
I really, really like the Baylor Bears in this situation, going into Iowa State and kind of shutting them up. So
Yeah.
I think the Cyclones might be riding a little high right now for their own good, and Jack Trice Stadium is probably going to be silenced.
You know, recent history bodes well for your sentiment there.
For
Baylor
sure.
is 4-1 ATS in the last 5 games against Iowa State.
Yeah.
So you think they can cover that, meaning they'll probably straight up win outright. So
Yeah.
if you're feeling that they can cover the 2.5, you're also kind of thinking the Bears probably got this.
Yeah, no doubt, and I am liking the +130 money line for the Baylor Bears.
There we go.
But if that is kind of scaring people away, since Iowa State is 3-0 and they're at home, just go with that +2.5. Even buy a point up to 3.5 if you want to. But I like the money line here. I like the Baylor Bears to win this game in Ames, Iowa.
All righty. Let's move on to another surprise team out of the
Yeah.
Big 12. Duke traveling over to Kansas. The Jayhawks are over a touchdown favorite. I got them at -7.5.
Yep.
11 o'clock kickoff on FS1. Big over-under here at 66.5.
Yeah, exactly, Andy. I kind of alluded this to everyone last segment with my parlay pick, but I'm on the Jayhawk bandwagon.
Rock chalk.
Jalen Daniels, their quarterback, he should be up in the early season Heisman conversation after how much of a impact he's had on the Jayhawks these first 3 games.
Yeah.
He leads the country in QBR rating with 97.5 and has accounted for 10 touchdowns.
Stud.
The junior quarterback will be the ringleader this whole year, but in this game, he is going to feast on Duke. I like Kansas to win this game in cover, and the biggest reason, obviously, is the playmaking ability of Jalen Daniels. The other reason is that
Duke sucks.
They're 3-0 too, Andy. They're 3-0 too, but that's in a little bit different league, in the ACC there. But I really think that Kansas is going to put it on them, probably about a 41-28 victory, which would cover that and probably hit that over.
Yeah, Duke is 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 games on the road.
For sure.
All right, they're also 3-8 straight up in their last 11 games. So you parlay that into with how Kansas has started this season, and things are coming together for a really good coach. I like that guy.
Yeah, I think you do.
That's a pretty good coach over there. So I think we're both in line here, going heavy with the
Jayhawks. And one more little point that I would say is Kansas football hasn't had a home crowd like it's going to see in the booth on Saturday for years. So, and I think that energizes I think it energizes the Jayhawks and helps them to a big victory and one step closer to a bowl game.
I think so. I think the Jayhawks finally might break through and do it.
So too.
They're on the right start. They're knocking on the door for 4 wins here.
I like it.
All right, let's keep it in the Big Ten, or move on over to the Big Ten. Iowa at Rutgers. This is a 6 o'clock night game, kickoff on FS1. Iowa's a 7.5-point favorite. The surprise Jayhawks, they surprised some people last week. Over-under, though, this is a little comical, is at 34.
It is very comical, Andy. And what I'm going to say is even more comical than that, because I'm hitting the under on this game. It's 34.5. I believe this game is going to end up 16-13 Iowa. So I am jumping on the Rutgers to cover this spread. I think it's too big. I do not think that they're going to cover this 8 points. I think they'll win by 3 or a touchdown and no more.
So earlier this week, the line came out at 34.5.
For sure.
If it closes, a little tidbit I dug up here.
Yeah.
If it closes at 34, it would be tied for the lowest closing total in college football since the year 2000.
Wow.
Since the year 2000. And not surprisingly, in the year 2000, it was another Iowa team, Iowa versus Wisconsin, and they pushed. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
No, just expect these coaching staffs to be very, very conservative on the offensive game plans. They'll call risk-adverse plays and battle for field position all game. This one will be decided by a key play or two in the fourth quarter, and I see the Hawkeyes squeezing out a victory, but not covering, Andy.
I think you're exactly right. In Iowa, for the last 5 games, have smacked that under, and even though it's a ridiculous under at 34 right now,
absolutely crazy.
It probably will be there again. I mean, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
How their defense is so good.
So good.
Their linebackers are awesome, but the offense just can't move the ball.
Can't move it.
I mean, it's something else. And Rutgers are 3-0, but that could be a lot of fool's gold. We're still pretty early here.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into Big Ten play.
I also like that this game is in New Jersey, so that's why I'm giving a little bit of that edge to Rutgers to cover this game.
All right, so let's head on over to the Big 12 game with a lot of buzz about it.
Yeah.
A team that we're familiar with, unfortunately, being Husker fans. And that is the Oklahoma Sooners, number 6 in the nation, hosting Kansas State, the Wildcats. Sooners are a 12.5-point favorite, though, with an over-under at 54.
This is a tough matchup. It always is, Andy. It doesn't matter how good Oklahoma is.
Yeah.
It always seems that K-State plays them very, very tough. I don't know really where to go on this one, Andy. I really like the spread for the Oklahoma Sooners just looking at this on paper. Yeah. But there's always that niche that K-State can play Oklahoma so well. They've beat them a couple times in recent years, Andy.
Well, here you go. They are 4-1 against the spread their last 5 games against Oklahoma.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
So crazy.
And think of how highly ranked Oklahoma's been under Lincoln Riley those last 5 years.
You're
and
correct.
It just doesn't matter. Kansas State rolls in there, straight up wins.
Yeah.
I mean, was that last year they pulled off the victory?
They did, yes.
Jeez.
And it's absolutely crazy, Andy, but I am going to have to just go with my gut here, Andy. And I'm taking the Oklahoma Sooners with the minus 12.5. And I really, really like this over-under as well, Andy, hitting the over with the 53. Because I really think Oklahoma, if they play like they should have at least 35 points on the board with K-State, maybe nipping at their heels a little bit. But overall, Oklahoma pulling away in the fourth quarter to seal this up by more than 2 touchdowns.
You know, we haven't gotten into NFL games yet, so I can still got plenty of time to disagree with you.
You got it.
On this one. Everything. Once again, a lot of the metrics that I'm looking at, all the nuggets that I dug up for the show here today, kind of agree with you on a couple of points here.
Well, you're a smart guy, Andy.
And thank you. I'm a brilliant guy. Yes, but the total has hit.
Yeah.
4 of the last 5 times these two teams have played each other.
For sure.
Okay. And then you also talk about how it's always a good game, but I feel like Oklahoma, they're on the warpath right now.
They are.
And that's not just me talking about the Nebraska game that I saw.
No.
I kind of expected that.
I think everyone did.
It was fun that Nebraska was winning that game at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
7-0.
Thank God we got the ball. Yeah. It was just very sad to see, but I really think that, like you're saying, this team has it going on right now, especially when this game is in Norman, primetime game at night. They're looking to stomp out the Wildcats, and I believe the Wildcats might have this quarterback that plays for them that might turn the ball over late in the game as well.
We've seen that. A little injured turnover prone. And his backup is on the injury report.
Yeah, so it's not looking good for the Wildcats at this point.
And Oklahoma, just looking at their injury list, 0 names. They are healthy as they've ever been. So they've been able to, work in their starters more and more.
Yep.
We saw a lot of them, against Nebraska, but they also got about a quarter and a half off as well. They have rest. So I like Oklahoma. Give me the Boomer Sooner to not only cover, but smack that over. Recent history is telling me that.
Yes, sir.
And what we've seen, throughout this series between these. You're hearing it right there, folks. That's the horn. We're up against it. So we're going to have to wrap it up here, but don't go anywhere because we have some NFL games Sunday all the way through Monday night.
You got it.
Don't go anywhere, folks. This is WTL.